Hey guys, Evan Org here, back in another video, and in this video we're going to be discussing the 3 ways Gamera Rebirth can actually be a very good miniseries. Now, as many of you may know, the Gamera Rebirth trailer came out a few weeks ago. I reacted to it, but the real question is this going to be a good series? Similar to practically all the most recent Godzilla content, lots of the anime content revolving around Godzilla has been conflicting in the Godzilla community. You have many people who suggest that Godzilla anime content, such as the anime trilogy and the more recent Singular Point series, are good examples of Godzilla content. However, you have people like myself who disagree with that. Me personally, I was not the biggest fan of Singular Point or the anime trilogy, and one of the reasons why I feel like making this video is because comparing this upcoming series to Singular Point, there are a bunch of things that, in my opinion, this show could do right that I thought Singular Point did wrong. Tip number 1. Don't drag it out. To give Singular Point some credit, it did have a good quantity of kaiju scenes, but the human scenes didn't really stand out in any way because either the dialogue was really bad or the stuff that the characters talked about had no substance. I'm not kidding when I say that 80% of what the characters talked about, in my opinion, was all this scientific explanation. I get that these main characters are a group of nerds. Let's be honest here. If you're going to give off scientific explanations, having it be too complicated and having that be the only subject matter of what these characters are talking about is not going to draw in a lot of people who aren't interested in that type of thing. I don't think Gamera Rebirth will have this issue because there is enough kaijus to fill up the 6-episode criteria, meaning that there is all kinds of new things to talk about revolving each kaiju that is shown in the show. Reason number 2. Don't change too much. Now, Singular Point really changed a lot of things in many specific ways. First off, while Jet Jaguar was an invention created by humans, he was around the size of King Kong rather than a full-fledged kaiju like he was in Godzilla vs. Megalon. In regards to Rodan, there was several Rodans. Not one, several. They too were also the size of a small kaiju. Anguirus wasn't that big either, and Godzilla himself was an ever-growing organism that appeared at the very end of the show in his full-fledged form. Now, I'm not suggesting that with Godzilla you shouldn't try different things because we've already seen so many different takes on Godzilla in so many different films. I will give Singular Point its points on how they tried to do something different, just that I didn't think it worked out. However, with Gamera, there doesn't even need to be that. Gamera does not get as much recognition as Godzilla, does not have as many films as Godzilla, and I don't think is appreciated enough to the point where everyone knows the extensive lore of Gamera as much as Godzilla fans do of Godzilla. This means one thing: keep it the same and consistent with the other Gamera timelines and their stories respectfully. Now, of course, is this to say that I want it to be exactly similar when Gamera fights Jiger as I do from the actual Gamera vs. Jiger film? No, I do want some difference, but being different for the sake of being different isn't a good enough reason. Reason number 3, keep it short and sweet. Now, I know what you guys are gonna say. Isn't that reason 1 all over again? In this point I'm talking about keeping the whole show, in general, in a small time frame. With Singular Point, having 13 episodes was a lot of episodes, but they still didn't have to drag out the human story to the point where it was boring across those 13 episodes. With Gamera Rebirth, it already has an advantage that Singular Point doesn't. It is half as long as Singular Point. It's going to be 6 episodes here. What that means is that it already has a good advantage of keeping it short and sweet, because assuming that these episodes are as long as Singular Point episodes, and assuming that they are 6, not 13, you think they're going to keep the human story simple, monster story simple, and nothing else beyond that. Of course, there are individual things that I definitely want to see some differences in between this kind of content and other Gamera content. Anything that's too drastically different takes too much of a risk in getting people to either say, I love this, or I hate this. Rather have, and I think all of you as well, a community of Godzilla fans and Gamera fans to agree that this is generally a very good series, rather than have a love-hate relationship between two different sides. Those are my 3 tips, including how Gamera Rebirth can pull off being an amazing miniseries and not following the same mistakes that Godzilla Singular Point did, as well as the anime trilogy. Now, if you like that show and those 3 films, then I respect your opinion, because that probably means you're gonna want Gamera Rebirth to be similar to that. But if that's what you think, I'd be more than happy to see, as long as you keep it respectful, I'd be more than happy to see what you guys have to say in the comment section, what your thoughts are, whether you agree, disagree, or somewhere in the middle in between this video. And again, I do plan to make more of these discussion videos. I made one a few months ago and it turned out pretty well, so I figured I'd make one now. And if this one does well, I'm absolutely going to keep doing it, maybe even more consistent than before. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later, and bye-bye.